about noon and I'm on my way to a client meeting, and this is what we do. It's a potential competitive displacement. So someone already owns this business and the decision maker is meeting with someone from another organization to discuss their business and their needs and future value, and we're going to talk about what that looks like. And you know, the thing that we do that's so difficult is a competitive displacement. So when someone else already owns the relationship and they're doing good work and they've developed the relationships that they need inside that particular client, you've got to work really hard to wrench that away, and you've got to develop a serious case for why change. And even more than that, you have to unwind some of what's already been done in the way that the client thinks. So there has to be a shift in their mindset, and mind share equals wallet share every time. So this meeting is specifically around helping to change the mindset and give the client a different frame through which to look at their business. And that different frame means that to get different results, they'll have to do something different. And that's how a competitive displacement works. Too bad I can't take you in the call with me, but it would freak everybody out to have a video camera running, and they would be so self-conscious in a sales situation it would never work. This is such a setup question for me. So when I'm 5 years old, there's a picture of me, actually I'm 4, heading off to kindergarten, and I'm carrying a briefcase. And I have no idea what I'm going to do with a briefcase at school, but some part of me felt like I was going to need a briefcase. There's a certain level of person that can do sales now. And I think the growth is in a couple areas. So it's the basic intelligence, your cognitive ability to think like a business owner and a leader. So I think that the IQ certainly is now going to require, it's more of a requirement than it's been in the past, let's put it that way. Your EQ is going to be much higher. So I think we're at a day and age now where managing that change means you're going to have a very, very deep understanding of human behavior and psychology and a lot of the social sciences. And then there's also TQ, so there's this technological intelligence. I think I coined that, but Jeb Blunt's got it in his book, and it's in print, so he's taking credit for it. But I think there's this technological quotient that you've got to know how to exist in the digital world, and there's going to be a digital transformation of sales. But it's not going to be social selling. It's not going to be tweeting your face off, and it's not going to be going into a LinkedIn group answering questions. It's going to be bigger than that, and it's going to be more meaningful than that. And I'm just starting to put my picture together of what this is, and I call it intimacy at scale. I think the ability to leverage relationships is changing. And if you look at Robin Dunbar's work out of England, he has a theory, and it's called Dunbar's number, which says a human being can manage about 150 relationships because relationships come with a maintenance cost. And Dunbar studied chimpanzees and primates, and we're like that in that we have a certain number of folds in our neocortex, which means that we're limited in the number of relationships, and we're limited by the time as to what we can invest in the way of emotional energy in relationships. But I think now, because we have silicone chips, and because we have this aluminum and glass device in front of us all the time, we can do some of the maintenance of relationships in a digital format, which means we can probably expand the number of relationships and create intimacy at a much greater scale. And I think that's what's going to be part of the key to the digital transformation. And no one's talking about that yet because we're I think, right on the cusp, and they think it's going to be all AI. AI is going to be one of many tools that we use to be able to scale up our management of what I'm going to call commercial relationships. And so there's a BDR, then there's an SDR. And no matter what they do, it has to be handed off to an AE who's supposed to close it, and then it goes to an AM who's supposed to be a farmer and doesn't have the skill set to create opportunities, but then they're supposed to come back and get an AE later on to come in and help them create an opportunity, even though they haven't seen that AE since they signed the contract. I mean, we just keep slicing thinner and thinner, and then we have salespeople now who are BDRs and SDRs and AEs and AMs who don't know anything, so they need a SME. And you start looking at this going, wait a second, how can a person who's not a subject matter expert be a trusted advisor when they have no advice? How can you be a trusted advisor when you don't know anything? The waiter gave us the check, and he set it between me and Cher, tiny bit towards my side, just slightly towards my side, because he's not sure who should be paying, and he wants to make sure he doesn't offend somebody.
It is not slightly towards more your side, it is right in the middle. I think it's more towards my side.
I think it's slightly towards my side, but she's paying anyway. Here in Barnes & Noble, Polaris Parkway, Columbus, Ohio. 3 copies of the autographed book here. If you're in Columbus, 3 copies, Barnes & Noble, right here on this bookshelf. Redbone. You don't get to hear Redbone every day. 100 episodes. We celebrate milestones here because this is every day.